Alexander the Great did not die heroically in battle, but rather succumbed to an agonizing, mysterious illness that gripped him for 11 torturous days in the sweltering heat of Babylon, a death shrouded in suspicion and speculation to this very moment. It wasn't a warrior's end, it was a slow, terrifying fade, watched by a world on tenterhooks. The year was 323 BC. Alexander, still in his early 30s, had conquered an empire stretching from Greece to India. He returned to Babylon, a city he planned to make his capital, not for rest, but for more ambitious plans of Arabian conquest. The air was thick with the scent of opulence and impending war. According to accounts, a few days before his illness, he'd attended a lavish drinking party hosted by his friend Nearchus, a seemingly innocent night that some historians believe marked the beginning of the end. He drank heavily, as was his custom, then retired to continue drinking with Medius of Larissa. The next morning, the conqueror of worlds woke with a fever. At first, it seemed like a common malady, perhaps an after-effect of overindulgence or the persistent fevers that plagued the marshy climate of Mesopotamia. But this was no ordinary sickness. His condition deteriorated rapidly. The fever worsened, accompanied by shivering fits and excruciating pain throughout his body. He tried to ignore it, even attempting to perform his daily religious rituals and supervise shipbuilding, but the effort was too great. As the days blurred into a feverish nightmare, the gravity of his illness became undeniable. His voice grew weak, then vanished entirely. Imagine the growing unease among his generals and closest companions, watching their seemingly invincible leader waste away. Their faces, usually composed, now etched with anxiety, perhaps even terror. What do you think they truly feared was happening, beyond just a fever? Share your theories in the comments below. On the 9th day, with Alexander barely conscious and unable to speak, his anxious army, desperate to see their king one last time, demanded access to his bedside. They filed past him, a silent, solemn procession of thousands, their hopes and fears reflected in their tear-filled eyes. He could only greet them with a faint nod, a final, wordless acknowledgement of the men who had followed him to the ends of the earth. The air would have been heavy with the stench of sickness, the cloying perfume of ancient Babylon, and the collective dread of an empire about to lose its son. By the 11th day, June 10th or 11th, Alexander the Great lay utterly still. His last recorded words, supposedly whispered to his generals when asked to whom he bequeathed his vast empire, were, "To the strongest," or perhaps, "I see that there will be a great funeral contest over me." With a final, shallow breath, the man who believed himself a god, the son of Zeus, was gone. The precise moment of his death plunged his empire into immediate, chaotic uncertainty. So, what really killed him? The official cause was often cited as a common fever, but for centuries scholars have debated whether it was malaria, typhoid, pancreatitis exacerbated by heavy drinking, or perhaps even a deliberate act. The abruptness, the specific 11-day duration, and the political machinations swirling around him have fueled myriad poisoning theories. Some point fingers at Antipater, a powerful general whose son was Medius, Alexander's drinking companion on that fateful night. Others suspected Roxanne, his pregnant wife, or even other generals eager to carve up his empire. This kind of sudden, impactful death changed everything. If you find these intricate historical mysteries as captivating as I do, consider subscribing to How They Died for more deep dives into history's most pivotal final moments. Alexander's death at such a young age, without a clear successor, fractured his vast domain.
His empire was immediately torn apart by his squabbling generals, the Diadochi, whose incessant wars reshaped the Hellenistic world for decades. The exact truth of Alexander's death remains one of history's most tantalizing cold cases, a stark reminder that even the most powerful of men are ultimately fragile, and that sometimes the greatest mysteries are found not on ancient battlefields, but within the walls of a sickbed. Give this video a like if you believe the truth will always find a way to surface.